Hello, Navy fans. Welcome to our GoMids.com football preseason podcast. We've got Scout.com Academy football analyst Jim Lawler on the line to discuss the Mids preseason camp highlights. Last time we discussed the Mids offense, and now we'll turn our attention to the Navy defense. Jim, what are your thoughts on the Navy defense in preseason practice?
Well, the big news, coming into this year was the fact that we're returning 6 starters on defense from last year's Poinsettia Bowl winning team. They have a lot of lettermen returning, but they basically have to rebuild the linebacker corps. Only 1 starter returns, and inside linebacker Danny Gonzalez. So, fortunately, he's the best player that's returning. But that's been the key battle that we've seen so far. This summer is like who's coming up and trying to plug in roles and win starting jobs. As far as changes or anything, it's basically the status quo has sort of held since we reported in spring practice at the end of our report at the end of spring practice. The big surprise was at the end of spring was William Tudor, the really talented striker linebacker, was expected to be the replacement for Chris Johnson. He decided to leave the football team. He's still at the academy. He just decided he didn't want to play football anymore. And Maya Craw, who was a defensive cornerback, big kid, he moved up into the starting spot, and so he's playing striker linebacker. He's a really good football player. He makes a lot of plays on the ball, even though he doesn't have a ton of speed. So I think the move to striker linebacker is actually a pretty good fit for him. And then inside, they have Mikhail Thomas, who's a real big talented direct mid. Last year, he's only a sophomore, but he's huge. I mean, he's really bigger than a typical Navy inside linebacker. He's 6'1", 249. And he really stuffs the run on the inside, so he's a lot bigger than the normal type of Navy inside linebacker that we normally see, and he can really run. And then outside, it's sort of a battle between DJ Palmori and Ted Colburn. DJ's in the lead. He's played it pretty well this spring, had a big play in recent scrimmage where he forced a fumble, but Ted Colburn is a big, quick outside linebacker himself, and right now it's still with the depth chart as being either or. So we don't know who's going to win the job just yet on starting day, but both will play this year.
Jim, how do you think the loss of Buddy Green for the season will affect the defense?
Buddy's a huge loss. Basically, the good news is the fact that his replacement, Dale Pearson, has been with the program since Charlie Weatherbury brought him from when he joined the program in 1996. So he's been here a long time. So he could be running the defense on a daily basis. Probably the biggest change, the thing that we're going to miss about Buddy, is the fact that not just his play calling, is the fact that, which was something that was brought up on the Navy Bird Dog blog site, which I sort of forgot about. Kenny Amalfilolo, that coach in Navy, is a devout Mormon. So unlike most college coaches, he doesn't work on Sundays. So a lot of the post-game film and practice prep was done by Buddy Green, which Mike James pointed out, which is actually it's really key. So it's going to be interesting to see how they've already shuffled the staff a little bit, shuffled positions, but how the other coaches pick up the slack as far as preparing the game film, preparing the breakdowns after a game on Sunday, because Coach Nima Palolo is very religious. He's not going to be there. So whoever picks up the pieces, that's probably going to be even more important than what goes on, as far as the play calling on Saturday. The one thing to look for this year is Navy, even before Buddy it was announced that he was going to miss time, they plan to be a lot more aggressive on defense. So I think they're going to look to mix up their blitz packages a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive. And they definitely do have the linebackers to do it if they want to be in that front. So it's going to be interesting to see. They have a lot of returning starters on the defensive side of the ball. But the biggest key is how the linebackers are going to come together and how is McPherson's going to be handled, calling the defensive signals for the first time. He's called signals before as a defensive coordinator, but the first time in '80. So those are the two things that we really have to look for, at the beginning of the year.
All right, Jim. Thanks so much for joining us on GoMids.com. Thank you too, Navy fans, for visiting GoMids.com and listening. Please join us next time when we discuss the 2015 Navy football team.